Hello, this is Alan Smith with Holmes Auto Group, and I wanted to introduce you to the phone training piece, the module that we're going to use to help get you dialed in for the phones. So here we go. We're going to dive right into it. What you will have with your toolkit, of course, you'll see in a moment. We'll talk about the script, the flashcards that we can use, also the digital flashcards that are in Brainscape. When we're done with the training, you will get more customers through the front door by using the phone. Either be your cell phone, of course, your desk phone. Show you how to make money on the phone, be more confident on the phone. You will know how to handle a call to the expectations of Holmes Auto Group, and have earned your certification to be able to take phone ups, and that's a great thing because you want your phone to ring. You were going to go over the why, the need for the script, the importance of the script, and not only just the importance of the script, but the mechanics of the script. And we'll get into that more of that as we dive into this. And also we're going to break down the script. We also have some games that we'll periodically do that we send to your phones, and we have competitions. So again, you'll have the phone script itself, the Brainscape digital flashcards, as well as some hand made cards that you can use as well for your learning. Okay. All right, Holmes Auto Group, our phone script is why do we use the script? The script gives you the mechanics of the call so that we can sound professional and we can be consistent, and it best serves the customer, and also it best serves the dealership. It also allows us to be able to stay in control of the call by asking questions. You want to take note of that because you'll always control the call by asking questions. The script is your map to the appointment being set, and for the guest to show up to the dealership. There's special keywords in there that's going to help that. Again, it's going to build your confidence, and with confidence, it's going to allow you to have a great attitude when you're on the phone, and it helps multiply your opportunities. Okay, the importance of the phone is the phone is the most effective way to communicate with guests besides being directly in front of them. It's also the best way to get people in front of you so that you can meet your goals and your hopes and your dreams. If you don't have a customer that you're interacting with, nothing's going to happen. So this is going to help get customers in front of you. The majority of all appointments or meetings are made or set through using the phone. That doesn't mean that it can't happen over email, but for the most part, it's going to happen over the telephone. It's a lot harder for folks to tell you no over the phone than it is over email or even texts. Okay? It is the difference between waiting on something to happen and making something happen. If you find yourself waiting on a customer to show up, that's the perfect opportunity to be on the phone. Okay? The importance of the phone, again, opportunity to create a positive first impression before meeting the guests. Kind of sets the tone of the experience. You're going to sell the appointment. This is the tough one when you're a product specialist or salesperson and you have trained so hard on all the product. You know your stuff and you want to show off, but now is not the time. The object of the phone call is to get the appointment, not sell the car. And if you can sell the appointment, your closing ratios, we have seen it be anywhere to 3 to 4 times greater. Okay, one of the most effective ways to communicate with people is over the phone. It's essential to handling incoming calls. The script is, as well as customer interaction. You'll use it when you're following up with customers. Even after a customer has come to the showroom and left, you will use pieces of the script, the mechanics of the script, to get the customer to come back. Most everyone else is weak on the phone, which gives us an edge over all the competition. Buyers like to shop by phone. They do that. Some folks have referred to the new internet lead is now the phone call again. It's circled back around because mobile phones have a click to call, and when you press that number on your phone, it's going to dial that phone number. So that's what customers are doing because it's quick and it's easy. And we're being efficient on the phone and answering customers' questions immediately is right where we need to be in the sweet spot of scheduling appointments. Okay, it's the most efficient use of our time. The phone is, because if you're not with a customer, you should always be on the phone because that's where you're going to get customers in front of you. All right, the breakdown of the script. The first impression is everything. When a customer calls in, you got to be upbeat. Thank you for calling Holmes Auto Group. This is Alan. What information can I get you today? I had one person that used to work here, bless that person's heart. They would say, "Thank you for calling Holmes Auto Group. What information can I get you today?" Their voice went down at the end of that original greeting, and your voice has to be up and doesn't need to sound sarcastic. And you know what I mean by tone and inflection. It really sets the tone right up front. "Thank you for calling Holmes Auto Group. This is Alan. What information can I get you today?" Like you're excited about getting them the information. Don't answer the phone
It's 11 hours.
Don't answer the phone too quickly, because if you do, the customer's going to feel like you're rushing them. So you have to have a good pace straight from the start, having a good attitude and an attitude of giving, that you want to give them that information. Whenever they ask you for payments or interest rates, I'd be happy to get that information for you. I'd be happy to get that. That is exactly what I'm here for. Now, and how you control the phone call is by asking questions. Okay, let me check to see what's available. I'm going to put you on a brief hold. Is that okay? I'm asking a question. Now, if you're actually going to put the customer on hold with the red button on our phones here, then you would definitely want to say, "And in case we get disconnected, what's a number I can call you back on?" Now, if you're not going to press that button, don't worry about that. If you're just going to cover up the speaker on the phone, the microphone on the phone, then just come back. Say, "I'm back. Are you there?" You're asking questions. You're in control. By the way, I'm Alan Smith, and your name is? You're asking questions. So that continues to maintain control of the call. There's a reason for every sentence on the script. That's absolutely the truth. All right. Now the next part is to set the appointment. You're going to at least ask for the appointment at least 3 times, but you'll never want to ask it the same way, because you'll sound like you don't know what you're doing if you continue to ask for the appointment the exact same way. Definition of insanity is you keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. The customer will keep telling you no. And remember, they called you. You didn't call them on a phone up. So they're interested in coming in. Never forget that. Never forget that. So nice talking with you, Alan. There are still some available. I have 2 test drive times, one at 3 o'clock and one at 4 o'clock. Which would work better for you? Okay? You're going to make that pitch of those 2 times, because if you just make a mention of one time and not the other, then the customer's option is to choose to come to the dealership or to not come. You want to give the customer 2 options to pick from to come to the dealership. If you're going to ask another time, "What time today will you be here?" You could ask that. Does morning or afternoon work best for you? You may have to back away from specific times just to get the customer thinking about what time or day or what day is going to work best for you. And if they say none of that's going to work, then you say, "Great, I have," and you give 2 other alternate times. Which works best for you? "I have a Thursday and a Friday. Which one of those would work good?" Okay. You can also, once you have agreed upon a time, you're going to check your appointment calendar. Now, the reason why we do this is to put emphasis on the fact that we are carving out time of our day and their day so that we can meet. So this is not something that just, you can show up when you want to. Of course, the customer can. But what we want to do is make the customer feel that we are carving out this time just for them. And we use an east and west technique. So if I say, the customer says, "Okay, I'll be there at 3 o'clock. All right, let me check my appointment calendar. Would you have to be here right at 3, or would 3:15 or 2:45? Or would you need to be here right at 3 o'clock? Which one of those would work better for you?" So you're going to pitch that 3 really alternate times, but it's really 2 besides the one that they mentioned. Now, if they say, "I got to be here right at 3 o'clock, that's perfectly fine. But what this does, and it's a psychological thing, it puts these time the appointment time for 3:15 or 2:45. People remember the 15 or 45 mark better than they do just on the clock. Okay, they agreed to 3:15. Okay, excellent. I'm going to put you in my appointment calendar for 3:15. And Alan, do you know where we're located? This is setting up for the next part of the script. Okay, do you know where we're located? Always ask that. Never assume. Even if they have a 318 phone number, don't assume. And because we live in a military town here, we have a lot of phone numbers that are out of state, out of our area. So it's always important to ask, "Do you know where we're located?" Okay. 90% of the time when customers do not agree to an appointment, it's because they didn't get the information that they were looking for. Make sure the customer's either question or has been answered or addressed. And I'll talk about that as we move forward. Okay, question and objections. This is on the right side of your sheet. Before you start buttoning up, you inevitably will be dealing with objections. Sometimes they're not just objections, they're just complaints, and that's okay. Never, ever, ever create an objection because of product knowledge. This is the hardest thing to overcome for a salesperson, again, as you've studied so hard on all of your product knowledge. To be told now not to use it just seems just impossible. Now, there are ways when a customer asks a question and either the vehicle is not available, or if a car is a special order item, there is a way to answer the question without saying no in a negative way, saying no in a positive way, so you can actually get to the yes. There's a great book out, it's by William Ury, The Power of Positive No, how to get the no, how to say no, pardon me, and still get to the yes. It's a great book. You should read it. I highly recommend it. Customer calls in, asks for a Honda Accord or Pilot, whatever the case may be, and it's a special limited edition, and that vehicle is not in stock, and we would have to special order it. Nice talking with you, Alan. That vehicle is available. This is after you've gone through the greeting. Don't go straight to this. I'm going to put you on a brief hold, check my inventory. I'm back. Are you there? By the way, my name's Alan Smith. Your name is? Alan Smith. It's nice talking with you, Alan. That vehicle is available. However, it is a special order vehicle. When can you come in and take a look at the specifications? I have a 2 o'clock and a 3 o'clock. Go straight to 2 times that you would pick. Of course, you want to check your watch and make sure that you're not mentioning times that are not realistic. If it's at 1 o'clock, if you're asking someone to come in at 1:05 or 1:15, may not be a realistic time for them. If they're coming in at 1 o'clock, I would mention 1:45 or 2:15. I would start off, that's where we'd land on the calendar, but I'd start off and say if it's 1 o'clock, my time that I'm going to pitch to them is going to be 2 o'clock. Because when I check my appointment calendar, it's going to be 1:45 or 2:15. So hopefully we can get that mathematically right, and it will work out for you every time, okay? So this is a special order. It's on your script. It's nice talking with you. That vehicle is available. However, it is a special order vehicle. When can you come in and take a look at the specifications, okay? The other one that's also is the vehicle's already has been sold. It's nice talking with you, Alan. Unfortunately, that vehicle has been spoken for, or it's already been sold. However, we have a number of different vehicles very similar. When can you come down and take a look at those? Okay, an alternative also is that we have over 800 vehicles at this dealership. We're a multi-brand dealership. I'm confident we can find something that fits your wants and needs. What time can you come? I have a 3 o'clock and a 4 o'clock. Okay. Now, how much is it? Customer asks you, how much is before I come in, I need to know what the best price is on that vehicle. Now, you specifically never bring up price. It's always about the price. It's not always, about the price. So let the guest bring it up. You don't need to bring it up because it will come up on its own if it needs to from the customer side. And your answer needs to be something along this. Those range anywhere from 28 to 42. Is that within your range? Don't use this is the actual price of, yes, it's $28,947.12 to, this is their range, to $42,326.13. Don't use that. That's too much. Just say 28 to 42. Is that within your range? Customer says, no, that's too high. It's way too high. I understand. That's when you're going to move to 14, which we'll talk about as we move forward, as I understand about the price. But if it turned out to be exactly what you were looking for, would you at least consider it? Would you still consider it? That will be the line that you would run to, because you're still asking a question and the customer will respond. Okay? How much is it? And there's the line on the actual script itself. Okay. Now they may come to you asking you about financing and rates and things of that nature, or best price. Or, you have to be very careful about this line because it can seem evasive and you will lose the guests. Because if they can go online and find interest rates and things like that, and pricing, you don't want to seem where you're not answering the question because the customer would think you're holding back. And that in itself will create a dishonest feeling from the customer, and you don't want that to happen. If it's something that you cannot truly have ready for the guests by the time they get down here, by the time you get to the dealership, then your statement needs to be, we can have it ready before you leave the dealership. Then ask, is that okay? Because if you're going to get them some type of information or double check something or something of that nature, and you don't have it right then, but it is something that you can have together by the time they leave. Some cases that could be payments. Some cases that could be other options of vehicles before they get here. Okay, you could use that as well. Okay. I don't have that particular information in front of me, but I can have it for you by the time you get down here. And then go to line 6, which is starting to close up the appointment, or selecting the appointment times and then close the appointment. Now, if you have a customer that's calling in for payments, this is a great payment script here. I need to know what my payments are going to be. This is just an objection. There's so many lines. There's so many word tracks that we have. To throw them all at you at one time would be overwhelming. But when we're done training and continue training with folks for on the phone, you will have a rebuttal for just about every situation. Just about. Customer calls in and says, I know what my payments are. I'd be happy to get you payments on the vehicle. Do you know how you want this vehicle equipped? No, not really. I was just getting some general information right now, but I need to know what my payments are before. I don't want to come down there and waste anybody's time if I can't afford it. Not a problem. Start qualifying what the customer is looking for. Are you looking for a 2-door, 4-door, gas, hybrid, cloth, leather, sunroof? Start asking these questions. They are basic qualifiers, manual, automatic, but they can overwhelm the customer. But ask all these questions so you can get an idea of what they're looking for. But don't ever ask for financial qualifiers, like how much are you planning to put down. Somebody asked about payments. I've heard some people say, well, it's all going to depend on your credit and how much you're going to put down. Don't do that. Don't ask about a monthly range or anything of that nature. The customer is really buying a vehicle. They're not buying payments. They're buying a product, okay? I'd be happy to get you payments and payment options on the vehicle equipped exactly the way you just described it. What's your cell phone number? They're like, okay, well, why do you need that? Well, the reason I need that is because I'm going to text you the information on payments, payment plans, specials, financing, rates, down payment options, and the like. What's that number? And then what's your email address in case the file is too big? Okay. Inevitably, the file will be too big, because if we're going to email them some different options, we're going to get them some different options. If they have an email address, we know that that is easier to get to. Most people nowadays do have their email come to their phone, so that's going to work out for you there as well. It also gives you a reason to ask for contact information. A lot of times we don't get contact information because we don't know how to ask it. We have to ask for that contact information when it makes sense to ask for it, okay? And then at that point, you could ask them, how do you spell your last name? You don't have to ask them, what was your name again? Because the customer may say, I never said it. So, how do you spell your last name? And they'll spell it for you. How do you spell your first name? They'll do that for you as well. And then you just hold on for a second. Here's where some magic happens, okay? When you come back to the phone, hey, let me ask you something. Would you consider a vehicle that exactly the way you described, but has low miles, a full warranty on it, and would save you $3,000, $4,000, maybe $5,000, as much as $100 a month? Would you be interested in that? Oh, they're going to be definitely interested in that, because that's going to show them that you're on their side to help them save money and be able to afford what they want to buy, okay? And that's if you're on a new car flipping them to a pre-owned vehicle. Now, if you're on a pre-owned vehicle, what you're going to do, is there any chance you would consider something new or newer that I could take and put you into a car and keep your payments in the same range as a pre-owned? Would you be interested in that? Okay, so that's going to give the customer options, and that's what you're going to want to do. Now, then you ask for the appointment. You give the customer 2 times using the main phone-up script that we were going over. Send options while they're on the phone. If you can do that, you're going to up your appointment time incredibly. And then you can always ask the customer, by the way, is there any reason you won't be able to make it when you said you could? And what will you be driving? That's going to you'll ask the customer that when the customer is going to come in, so you'll know exactly what they're driving and what to be looking for. Okay, and then you also find out if they have a trade, because if they have a trade, then you'll be able to help the customer even more. And we love to have the trades, no doubt about it. No call is going to go perfectly with the script, but the script will go perfectly with every call. Anywhere the guest moves, there is a way to get back on track, always. But you have to do that by asking questions, because you control the call by asking questions. Okay? Now, what can you tell me about the car? If the customer asks you, what can you tell me about the car? That could be opening Pandora's box if you start giving the customer a bunch of information. This is where we get into a lot of trouble. Answer the question that the customer has, and then ask for the appointment. If the customer says, tell me about the vehicle, well, you could say to them, well, it's got Bluetooth, it's got a backup camera, but what are you specifically looking for? Now, if there's equipment and or feature question that you're not sure about, it's important to you assuming that it is equipped exactly the way you would like for it to be. What time can you come to the dealership? Have a 2 o'clock or a 3 o'clock? And it's okay to check. We are in information age where customers are okay waiting for just a moment for you to pull it up because they know that this information should be handy. If you're asking about pricing or equipment or features or accessories, if you say the right things the wrong way and you get an appointment, it's luck. If you say the wrong things the right way and you have success, it's luck. If you say the right things the right way and have success, folks, that's professionalism. Okay? All right. Now, what can you tell me about the car? Sure, it has backup camera, Bluetooth, but what specifically would you like to know? Another option is, sure, what specifically are you looking for? And the customer may ask you, does it have a sunroof? A matter of fact, it does. Is that okay? Or you can say it doesn't. Is that okay? Then you can move to line 14 if they say, no, that's not okay. I understand about the color. I understand about not having a sunroof, or I understand about having a sunroof. But if it turned out to be exactly what you were looking for, would you at least consider it? The script is so versatile all the way around. You can always use it, okay? It's just memorizing the script, okay? So don't rush or panic if you don't have the price on additional equipment. Customers are okay with you looking that information up. They'd rather the information be correct than just to be told something to get them in, because that's going to frustrate the customer. Have an accessory or an accessory sheet or pricing close at hand. Some have NetStar, some have in Honda, some have their manufacturer logins that they have that will show them the pricing of accessories and different packages. So make sure you have that stuff close by if you don't have it already memorized, okay? And if the answer is yes, then set the appointment. If no, of course, always move to line 14. I understand about the price, but if it turns out to be exactly what you were looking for, would you at least consider it? It could be price, color, equipment, it could be anything, okay? All right. Some have considered this literally the Hail Mary of rebuttals. Often it's used on the second or third pass, asking for the appointment. This also lets you know that the guest is not stuck on just one specific option. They're open to options, and they really should be, okay? That's when you go to understand about the price. You can also this is where you're really diving into line 14. It gets used a lot, but if it turned out to be exactly what you were looking for, would you at least consider it? Now, I understand that, but if we probably do have something that will work for you. What kind of price range, what color would you consider? Okay, line 15 is going to be one that you're going to use as well. Then you, of course, move to overcoming those objections. Here it is. Now, another alternative to line 15 is I understand, but we are a multi-brand dealership with over 800 vehicles here. I'm sure we can find something that will fit your wants and needs. I have a 2 o'clock and a 3 o'clock. Which works better for you? Okay? Because we do. We have multiple brands at this dealership. And when we have multiple brands, we have a lot of different trade-ins. So therefore, we have a lot of non-brand vehicles that are at this auto group. Okay? There's that script. And to reduce redundancy, I know that we've already gone over that. Okay? Okay. Now, it's very important that you have attempted to set the appointment at least 3 times. Because you really got to, if you don't and you just give up, then, if you don't get contact information or it didn't make sense to get it, the customer won't come to the dealership, or there's a high possibility that they do, and you get skated. So, because they didn't ask for you when they came to the dealership. Now, when all else fails and you haven't been able to get the customer in, it's just not something that we use a lot, but it's here. Line 16, I understand. When do you think I might hear back from you? Okay, thank you. And if you are unable to reach me, I'll return the call. What's your number? Is this your cell phone? See, once again, an opportunity to ask for contact information when it makes sense. When you do that and you master that, you'll always be able to get contact information. The phone is the life of your success. Okay? The ability to be great on the phone will only increase your ability to close face-to-face. The confidence and power you have in professional communication will determine how far you will go. So let's all go all the way. All right, this is the script. I'll make sure that you get emailed the script so you can have it. And we do have some games and things like that, some quizzes, some competitions that we do daily. If you have any questions at all, this was a really condensed version of the live training that I have given. Please don't hesitate to call. My desk number is 318-212-1477 or my cell phone 318-553-0035. Thank you. Look forward to working with you. Have a great day.